Welcome to Pillow Talk episode 7. I just wanted to show off my sleeve, but that didn't really go as planned. We've got lots coming up in this episode, including, I'm going to read some dirty texts, some that have been sent to me, some that I send back. It's very old, obviously. I don't carry on like that now. We've got a crazy clip of one of Hayley's fantasies that I fulfilled for her. And we've got heaps of photos, including the day I punched G.I. Joe, my last few days with G.I. Joe, and my wildness in London, including pics of the guy that I had the shit-uation with. Let's get into it. I can't wait. This week's home play was Dirty Talk. And I know this is a little bit wild for pillow talk, but I just thought this is the whole point. Let's get a bit weird. I think sometimes people don't know how to do it and how to start. So I'm going to actually give you real life examples here. Okay, so I received a message. Just wondering if you're up for a hot night. I didn't reply. Question mark comes in as another message. And I say, what's on offer? Winky face. It's the flirt and it's the like tease, like I'm not interested, but what is it? A rock hard cock to do with whatever you desire. And I said, I'm interested. Tell me more. This is from a different ex. He said, I want a list of emojis to describe your wishes and wants, which is quite a good little like plaything. So I did a big French stick, a honey pot, 2 spoons, a canoe, and a tongue. Canoe licking, if you know what I mean. Do you want more? Do you? Rachel. The thing is with this guy is he's French, so it's actually quite funny, the dirty texting, because he gets things wrong. Like he said, instead of moist once, he said humid. He goes, I'm going to make you so humid. I've just randomly picked a bit in our thread. I love how your cock can engulf my whole mouth. I want to feel it right at the back. He goes, me too, especially when you make it very wet and it slides well. And I've said, I'm getting close. The thing is, I probably wasn't. I was probably eating popcorn and like face mask on. I was like, oh yes, can I have your tongue on my pussy? And he's like, would that help you come? And I said, yes, so much. Your tongue is my favorite. I'll start very lightly on your clit. A bit more pressure on the side of your vulva. I mean, I like that he's giving like technically and like correct in anatomical terms, but like it's not really sexy when he's like, more pressure on the side of your vulva. All right, doctor. I said, oh, I'm about to. I can't hold on any longer. He said, let it go. As you orgasm, my tongue keeps playing with your clit and I won't stop, hearing you moan at each touch, each lick, each grab. I said, oh my God. He said, you're okay? I said, only just. Oh no, shit, that's a real live chat. That's, fuck, I haven't talked to him in years, bloody hell. Whew, lucky. Does that give you an idea?
Sometimes I regret what I suggest we do on here.
Are you hot and flustered or do you feel awkward?
I'm awkward.
Because I am flushing from his humid tongue. In this week's episode of Sex.Life, I disclosed that I punched G.I. Joe. And I've been feeling pretty tender about that because it is something that I don't want the world to know. And I'm really embarrassed about it. I think especially because it's just not something, it's not me. It's not something I'd ever do today. I've never done it since. I'd never done it before. And, I'm so passionate about consent and not hurting anybody else's body that I can't believe I did that. But the reason I do always share things, right, so that we can all learn together and move through things. Here I ask my friend H.E., who was at the Sevens, what he thought of it. We went to the Sevens together.
Yes.
Do you remember me punching him?
I don't remember you punching him. I don't know whether I saw him that day or that night or the next day. I can't recall, but I remember seeing him with a shiner.
Yeah.
And being like, oh fuck, okay, this is a little bit more serial than I thought.
Yeah.
Because I thought when I first heard it, that it was just a bit of a, everyone's sort of like wrestling and doing stuff.
Do you remember any like chat behind the scenes of people? Like, were our friends shocked?
Do you know what? I don't remember them being shocked, which is kind of
shocking in itself.
Weird to think now. I don't remember what was said about it, if anything was. And maybe selfishly we're all in our own like fun zone of like as wrong as it sounds to be like, oh well, this has happened with them. And I feel like if it was something that you needed from me, i.e. a talk or a debrief or anything like that, then that definitely would have happened. It wasn't just like washed over.
Yeah.
But it was just kind of like, all right, day 2, here we go, and we're back into it.
As you can see, nobody was really talking about it. In fact, it's almost been minimized. And I think the double standards of that, right? If that was a woman that had been punched, I think there would have been a lot more discussion, shock. But I still to this day find it weird that there's crickets. And I actually haven't had any messages about it in my DMs. And normally I get like literally hundreds of messages about different things that I've touched on in the podcast. So I just feel like this is still an awkward subject for people to broach. And I guess my message around this is like, we need to talk about these things. And this is how things lurk in the shadows when we're too afraid to broach the subject. And so I am asking all of us for courage in this area. If you've got suspicions that there's something going on behind closed doors, or if you see something, please speak up. It could save a life, and it could really save someone's well-being. And if it's you that's on the other end of any domestic violence, if you can, please seek some help. If you or someone you know needs some support in this area, I'm going to put a list of places that you can get help in the comments. I've been thinking a little bit about the double standards in our world in general around sexualizing men, because we kind of know we can't really do that to women. Andrew Tate, we shouldn't really do that to women. But, I talk about a lot of my men's schlongs. Like, I just talk about it because I'm trying to paint this picture. And I don't know why I feel like that's actually okay. I know it's naughty, I know it's a little bit problematic, but I think it's important to the story, My experience of these men, it actually impacts my experience with them. So anyways, I get so many questions, and I was really excited to see the horse faces schlong when I was older. And Hayley was also very curious about comparing it to long schlong. And so what I've done here is I'm just trying to give you a very scientific comparison of all the men. Enjoy. Make sure you got some food to munch on because you'll get hungry afterwards. We need to start at season 1. Let's meet Long Schlong Silver. Here he is. I know what you're thinking. It's a bigger boy. Now, the reason I chosen this one is this is probably the length. Probably the girth is bigger than what it actually is, but the actual shape of like a cylindry, like quite, I don't even know how to describe it, like thick, long, cylindry. That's Long Schlong. Season 2, Cowboy. Oh my God, he's going to kill me, so I'll be real quick. What? Giddy up, baby. That's Cowboy going once, going twice, gone. Ridden off into the sunset. Season 3, this is what we really want, right? All the lads. Okay. Rugby Boy. Oh, bless. No judging, just because it's going to have to park up next to long strong silver. Then comes along G.I. Joe. Quite surprising. Do you know what's surprising? Because I didn't really talk about his penis because he was my long-term boyfriend and I was trying to protect his privacy. Well, that's out of the water now. It wasn't really, it was a bit, was it curvy? It was a bit curvy. But yeah, it was good. It was good girthy. It was not this long. It's not this long. Let me just, I'll just get it right there. Well, that's still quite long. God, have I been blessed? Oh no, that feels right. That feels good. Okay, perfect. Then, after G.I. Joe, I went back to horsecock. Oh, my horse face. Oh my God, this is really, whoa, doing a doozy on me. I know. Now, Hayley made me compare long schlong and horsecock. So you can see like the different girths going on here. This length obviously is not realistic. So again, let me work my horse magic. Do, 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 do. Ra, 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 ra. Oof. Yeah, that feels, Yep, that feels good. Okay. Long schlong, rugby boy, G.I. Joe, horse face. Are we done, mate?
Got it.
G.I. Joe. Funny. It's actually quite nice. It's like sourdough. When I was in the supermarket, I found these little vulva bread rolls, and so I had to get them. Aren't they so cute? Oh my God, this is my one true love. Oh, to be continued. In episode 7 of the podcast, I hear Hayley's desire to be picked up and like passionately pushed against the wall, because I'm telling the story about, you know, horseman doing that to me and how much I love it when men just like pick you up and you just feel little. And she's like, I don't think I've ever experienced that. And I was like, oh, you simply must. So here I organise a little treat for her. Enjoy. Let me prove how much of a feminist I am.
Oh God!
I know, can you...
Oh my God.
Are you okay?
The thrill of a lifetime.
Good.
Bye, Tyler.
You're the greatest. Thank you.
Oh my God, what the fuck? Oh my God. Oh my God. I was like, am I being kidnapped?
Can't believe security let him through.
Oh my God. That is so funny.
You okay, mate?
Yeah. We were just talking about like gobbing delicious cock and eating ass and stuff, and I was getting all horny and suddenly I'm in the air.
So, look, it wasn't as sexy as I'd hoped. I loved the full commitment from my friend. He went full wrestling mask, little undies. But I actually think Hayley genuinely thought she was being attacked. So I don't think that's good for the nervous system to feel like you can really like enjoy, because she was almost like fighting him. But look, I tried. it's not easy to find big, rough and rugged men that are available at 11 a.m. on a Tuesday to just put on a mask and come and pick your friend up in a studio and push them against a wall. It was fun though. Just so you know, no animals or Hayleys were hurt in that process. She's actually okay. Here is this week's interview with Mama Cares. I asked her how she felt when I had to tell her that I had punched G.I. Joe. And I was actually curious to know if she'd ever seen me with rage. So there's some interesting insights from my childhood with that. She also unexpectedly unearths a story that I share that really shows my gamminess and probably why I was never picked for the Olympic swimming team. Kizzy.
Yes.
Did you get fangirled today?
Oh, yes, I did.
Did you?
Yeah, I did.
What did they say to you?
One of them said it's really great having somebody who's older and not stuffy and fun and not a prude. And she said, I wish my parents were like that. So, yeah, I felt very important.
Yes, you should.
Yeah.
That's beautiful feedback.
Yeah.
You've just listened to episode 7.
Yes.
And look, I'm personally sitting with a bit of shame around knowing people know that I punched G.I. Joe.
Mm-hmm.
How was it for you hearing that?
Yeah, I've thought quite a bit about that. That's not okay, but hurt people hurt people. What I was proud of was that you were shocked about it too, and that you went and got therapy and tried to work through it and see where it was coming from.
Have you ever seen me be a ragey person?
I know there was a lot of rage about your father letting you down, so yeah, I have seen you being a ragey person. But I hadn't seen you being a jealous person. That was new information for me, really. Yeah.
Yeah, and quite funny that the jealousy came not from them talking, not from like thinking there was anything flirty, but he was laughing with her. I thought he thought she was funny.
Oh, right, more funny than you, the funniest girl in the world.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, that's interesting.
How was I when G.I. Joe went overseas and I'd moved back into home for a bit, not sure what I was doing?
I remember you bringing all your stuff back in and being quite giggly, and G.I. Joe's truck in the driveway, and didn't you put on a snorkel and a mask? And you must have that photo somewhere to share.
I'm in my undies, kids.
Yes, you're in your undies and a snorkel and mask.
G.I. Joe loved going snorkeling with me because he thought I was so cute because I couldn't blow and kick at the same time. So I'd like breathe for a bit underwater with my snorkel, but then my feet would stop. So then he'd be like, babe, kick. And then I'd kick, but then I'd be... Were you worried about me going off to London?
No, because I'd been there.
What did you do in London?
Oh, lots of fun stuff. Yeah.
What did you do with my dad in London?
Oh, we had lots of fun. We were a bit crazy, but lots of good sex with your dad.
Yeah, I know.
Well, you were made there. You were
you.
conceived there.
That's why we think I came out bum first, eh? Because I was conceived on the other side of the world.
Yeah.
So this singing piece that seems to be my way of communicating, as a mother who's guided me up and you've seen me throughout the years, have you got any idea why I would sing?
I wonder if it's because you loved musicals, you loved the sound of music and the Von Trapp family and The Wizard of Oz.
If I were the king of the forest! Is that what you mean?
Yeah, that one. See what I mean, people?
See what I mean, people?
And, you love the Munchkins. Now, all of that made sense. Going to Munchkin land. Oh,
I feel naughty, but you might have heard me doing A-class drugs in that episode. Am I in trouble?
No, you're not in trouble. Yeah, I was a bit surprised, but, you're going to get better funeral stories. You know, you don't want to be at the end of your life and think, I wish I'd done that, or oh, I never did that.
Kez, you've raised me as a pretty resourceful young woman. You've just heard that I'm left in a toilet with no toilet paper, nothing in there, except from a National Geographic poster. What do you think I use to clean my bum?
Sometimes when there's no paper, there is the toilet roll, you know, the roll, but...
Yeah, I've used that before.
Yeah, I've had to resort to that as well. But anyway, you had the National Geographic. I think you would have looked at the picture. If it was dolphins, you may not have used that dolphiny bit, you might have used the ocean. If it was a woman, you wouldn't have used the woman bit. My guess is that you kept going with little bits and washed your hands really well afterwards, in case you missed.
Ugh! Thanks, Kizzy.
Okay, Morgan. That's a wrap.
That's a wrap. I'm getting a lot of feedback that people are just loving the photos, so I've dug up as many as I can for you for this episode. Let's go. Here is the group shot of us at Running with the Bulls at the Sevens. You can see me and G.I. Joe at the back corner there. And unfortunately, this was like the happy time before I punched him. This was my 25th birthday. G.I. Joe was always right beside me, celebrating, and we were in our little home and had a little gathering there. This was when we were back in Nelson and we knew that things were kind of rocky and potentially breaking up, and I just think this kind of captures that love and pain. I just wanted to show you this because I've talked about my Kmart undies and how I really stopped giving any kind of fuck about what I looked like. Look at this ridiculous hat. And I just went out in public with him like this. This was the first guy that I hooked up with post G.I. Joe. The guy that was in the band, that was in the band with my friend. This is my friend Laura's hen's party, wrestling themed. This is with the guy that I had the shit-uation with. Oh, he was delectable just looking back on this. We're on a boat party down the Thames, and there's my darling friend Alan. This is me at the Waitangi Day pub crawl, which is a classic in London where all the Kiwis get dressed up. We went as Outrageous Fortune, like classic Kiwi, Kiwiana, and just had the most wildest pub crawl, ridiculous day. This was when I was cruising around the UK for work. We found a masty farm, so I just had to take a photo there. Another beautiful town to encounter on my travels called Lyminge. As well, on my travels, we also found a place in Ireland called Muff. At the end of this podcast episode, I find myself in a real predicament. Rachel wrote that out. I don't even know why I said it out loud like that. But I was stuck in the loo with no toilet paper, a National Geographic poster, nothing else. And I guess the thing is, I've got to do something, and I want to know what you would do. I put it to the Instagram followers, and here's what you said. You took off your knickers and used them. I had no knickers on. They were long gone. I didn't have any excess bits. Maybe a little DIY bidet in the sink. Look, wouldn't be my first time making a little bird bath, so could be. Just the visuals of it, you know, backing your bum up onto those little half sinks. Oh my God. Scrunchie, this is so good. And for those of you who do not know what a scrunchie is, it's a big, like oversized hair tie. You know what? If I'd been wearing a scrunchie that night, I reckon I absolutely would have. That is such a good, resourceful idea. I salute you. I hope you've never had to do that before, my friend. This person knows my glove fetish. Oyster shucking gloves. Oh God, imagine if I'd had them there. That would have been fantastic. I don't know where you think I'm going to find disposable rubber gloves in a tiny mini half toilet. Washed your butt with toilet water. This is unbelievable. Oh, that's true. I suppose I wasn't sound of mind, was I? So even though there was a hand basin there with running water, I could have used the toilet water. Interesting. Ironic given your toilet paper phobia. Drag your clacker on the carpet like a dog. Should I tell you who sent this reply in? The Roses boy. My BMX boyfriend. Yeah, well, you'd like to see that, wouldn't you, pal? There were about 30 people that said sock and a few people said sockets. You've got to remember, I've been getting jiggy with it. Like, I did not have socks on. I didn't have much on, let alone socks. Stripped some wallpaper off. This is getting next level. Imagine if I was peeling wallpaper. I don't even know if there was wallpaper. It's probably just like cheap, rolled. Oh God. No, I did not. But this is hilarious. And actually, if I was that desperate, yes. I think this person is dobbing themselves in for using a bath mat and saying, it was only number ones. That's resourceful. You are my kind of person. Do they have Allen's lollies in London? Also, this does not sound like a good time. It sounds crunchy and like there's vicious edges that would hook my anus. You ran to the shower. Now, this actually would have been a good solution if I'd been thinking ahead, because I could have just done that business, flushed, run upstairs, gone, found a shower. Or I could have just found toilet paper upstairs. I could have just gone up there after I'd emptied out, because really it was just the emergency evacuation that needed to happen. So many missed opportunities. My dad used his sock in a central London loo with no paper. Do you know what? I actually think that socks must be a secret weapon, because I cannot believe the amount of people that have said socks on here. And to hear this story, I'm always going to remember that now, because I just do not think I would have ever thought of it. But this is a life hack. Find out on the next podcast of Sex.Life what I actually do use to wipe my anus. Thank you for being here, you sexy little empowered poussoir. Next episode of Pillow Talk, I recreate the cities in a hat moment, but I end up having to do something I really don't want to do. I don't even want you to see it, but you're going to. I will reveal photos of my Irish love that you don't even know is coming yet, because that is on next episode of the podcast. But you'll want to see those ones. They're quite yummy. And you're going to see an interview that I did with Gaz from Geordie Shore. That's a lot to unpack. See you next week.